to start. Ah, So who is Dorothy Height? She is a women's rights activist, civil rights activist, abolitionist. She was nicknamed the godmother of the civil rights movement because of all of, well, everything she did, as we'll find out. Um, and she was president of the National Council of Negro Women for 40 years. So her life growing up, she was born in March of 1912 in Richmond, Virginia, but her family moved to Rankin, Pennsylvania when she was young. Um, she did very well in high school and actually received a scholarship to New York University um, for her oratory skills, which is basically her speaking skills. She's very good at speaking. She graduated from NYU with a bachelor's degree in education and earned her master's degree in psychology, and that's why I picked her. I'm looking into an education degree, and I really liked everything that she did um, in using that degree, even if it wasn't teaching. She started off her career as a caseworker in New York City until she became a civil rights activist uh, at the age of 25. So, what did she accomplish through her leadership? She accomplished a lot due to her excellent organization skills and speaking skills. Um, as previously mentioned, she was the fourth ever president of the National Council of Negro Women um, and served as president for 40 years. She was constantly being asked on advice for civil rights topics by different political figures. Um, Martin Luther King Jr., Eleanor Roosevelt, Eisenhower, Lyndon B. Johnson, and so many more. Because of her talent in speaking, she was able to inspire more people, and she worked with the Big Six on different campaigns, and we'll learn a little more about that later. So, what type of social impact did she have? She was the only woman that was at the same level as the Big Six during the Civil Rights Movement. So this inspired other women to keep fighting for what they believed in, for what they believe they should be receiving in terms of just life. Um, and she was the only woman that was at the highest level as the Big Six. But I think the fact that we don't hear much about her shows how she created the foundation for women's rights, but wasn't able, or not wasn't able, but she, the impact had not yet sprung while she was still advocating for civil rights because her voice was not silenced, but men's praise was given over hers. Um, she focused on the ridding of lynching of African Americans in America and was able to reconstruct the criminal justice system to make it a little bit more fair and less biased. She implemented a lot of programs to improve the quality of life for African Americans and women. Um, and she did this all while working with the YW um, Council in New York and the NCNW. So her role as a leader is significant. Um, sh I think the most significant part is she did so much during the civil rights movement, but is given very little credit for all of the valuable actions that she had. At this time period, it seems like the male voices were overriding her voice. Um, and the work she did caused Americans to switch their thought on what women could do and accomplish and shift their views on African Americans. Um, like I said before, she was like the stepping stone, the foundation for what the world looks like now and what it could even look like in the future. Um, she did a lot of work to eradicate the abuse of African Americans, and during her time of leadership, she was the voice for women um, and African Americans who were being silenced. She knew that she had this gift of speaking out, and the platform that she had by knowing so many of these people because of the leadership positions she was in, she knew that she had to be the voice for the women and the African Americans who were being silenced and overlooked. So she received a bunch of awards. I think one of the biggest awards was awarded with was the Congressional Gold Medal in 2004, which was given to her um, by President Bush. And she just, she accomplished so much, and I'm glad she was recognized. I just wish she was talked about a little bit more. So her legacy, she was honored in different ways. There was a movie created. It was about how speech can affect the society and ignite change. Um, and she was a big part of that movie. And then some interesting facts were she did end up going to NYU with the scholarship, but she was intended on attending Barnard College, but they said that they did not admit African Americans to their university, which I think is just ironic, the turn of events and all she did to change that mentality. Um, she basically was the brain behind the March on Washington, but was not asked to actually speak on the panel, probably because she is a woman and majority of the people who spoke were men. And then I have some important quotes by her, but my favorite one was uh, we have to improve life not just for those who have the most skills and those who know how to manipulate the system, but also for those who often have so much to give but never get the opportunity. Um, and yeah, I feel like that just like represents everything she stood for. And then my sources are here.